Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, Thursday, September 26, 2019. I'm here in my classroom and you're probably looking at me like, what is going on now? What is this guy up to with 2 empty bottles? And again, trust me, there's always a reason and a method behind the madness. So the reason why I have these 2 bottles, this one in particular, is because I want to touch on the topic of authentic learning and engaged learners. What does that look like? What leads to that? And for me, I felt that, I experienced that this morning. We were doing a math task. Myself, I was leading it, called Number Talks. And during Number Talks, I noticed that while I was in the front of the room and I had this bottle in the front as well, my students were paying more attention to the bottle than they were the math problems, of course. And I saw the awe, right? I have problems pronouncing that word, AWE, in their eye. And I'm like, okay, I definitely see that my students are more engaged and intrigued in this juice than they are in this math problem on the board. And I thought to myself, okay, let me dig into this moment right now, because these moments don't always happen for us as teachers, as educators, going through curriculum and delivering instruction. If we're honest with ourselves, our students aren't always engaged with the curriculum and content that is offered to them. However, me, being the curious person that I am, I do like to explore, I do like to experiment. I saw that my students were truly engaged just by the juice. They were looking at the bottle, they see a green juice, they were probably looking at the colorful design and fruits and vegetables, and I'm like, okay, I obviously see that everyone's interested in this juice. Why are you so interested? Is it because it's green? What's going on? And all of a sudden, everyone's talking about it. Yeah, we're interested in it. We want to know this. We want to know that. So students were asking questions. And that, for me, immediately sparked something in my mind. And I knew that I wanted to capture the moment. So I decided to record it on my phone. So I do have the audio. I will be putting the audio out once I make a few quick edits so that everyone can hear just the authentic experience, uncut. And as I reflected and listened back to that audio myself, I took down some notes in regards to authentic learning, curiosity. I have Post-its right here in front of me, so I'll be going through it. Authentic learning, curiosity, and what that process actually looks like from beginning to end, right? So students see this and they ask, what is naked juice? So the name itself is like, naked, naked juice. How can juice be naked, right? So they're curious, they want to know more. And I show them the container, we look through the nutritional facts, right? We look through all the nutritional facts, and then I show them this label. So we stayed on this label with the fruits and vegetables. We stayed on this label for about maybe 10-15 minutes because they were asking so many questions, I just couldn't move on with the lesson. And we made this a lesson. Essentially, we turned this into a lesson, right? We turned this into learning about fractions. We turned this into learning about vocabulary, right? Sustainability at the bottom. We turned this into learning about language arts and footnotes. We turned this into learning about units of measurement with milligrams, right? So these are all learning points that are essential, that are literally a part of our curriculum, my curriculum as a 5th grade teacher, fractions, partitioning, vocabulary. And it was just amazing, absolutely amazing to see how interested students were in learning more about fruits and vegetables. As simple as that is, there's so much to learn about fruits and vegetables that they've never learned before. This sidebar is a juice I had during lunch. I could talk about this a little bit later. And I was mesmerized. So while having this conversation, students ask, what is ginger? What is alfalfa? How do you pronounce this word? How do you pronounce that word? So we were having a rich conversation. And this eventually led into me talking about the importance of investing in our health and why it's important to start investing in our health and taking care of ourselves by being mindful of what we consume and what we eat and what we put into our bodies. And talking about and letting them know that what we put into our body can help to prevent us from paying more money in the future. And to be specific, what happened was they asked me how much this cost. So I said $3.49. I brought it at the 7-Eleven around the corner. And they're like, that's too expensive. And I'm like, it's not too expensive because we are investing in our health. So $3.49 in comparison to a huge hospital bill is nothing. And they were like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So again, having these conversations, having this dialogue with our students, our young people, about the importance of health, nutrition, while tying that in to academics, fractions, vocabulary, is all essential. This is what authentic learning looks like, right? This is what authentic learning looks like, but I would have never known this if I wasn't open enough to actually take a step aside and let them lead the discussion. I noticed that they were curious. I noticed that they were engaged. They wanted to know more. So that's when I stepped back. I just stepped back and let them lead. I let them ask questions. They asked all the questions, right? And it was just an amazing experience that really introduced me and showed me that authentic learning begins with identifying where our students are most curious. In order for our students to become curious, we have to put different things in front of them, products, whatever it takes for them to feel the need to ask questions, right? So we have to introduce them to just different things in the real world. Just bring real world materials, real world products into the classroom, because naturally they're gonna wanna ask, oh, how much does that cost? Where did you get it from? And for me, being that not only am I an educator, but I also work in the content, media, branding space, and seeing the value that companies can offer to our students just through their products in regards to creating products that are engaging, colorful, well designed. It all means something. It all catches our eyes as humans. So not only does it catch our eyes as adults, but it also catches children's eyes. They see it, oh, that looks nice. I want to learn more. How much does it cost? Where can I get it from? These are all essential things, right? So from a business perspective, technically, there's a huge white space right now in the market in regards to introducing young people, introducing students to different products that they may or may not want to consume in the future as they get older, as they learn more about, okay, this is good, this is not good, let me stay away from this, let me learn more about this. And again, now we're into critical thinking, right? Based on what we learn, what we know about products, this is what will inform my decision as to what I will buy. This is what will inform my purchasing decision based off of what I learned. These are all essential components, So it all ties together and we can make sense out of it. A lot of times we make things too complex instead of just sitting back and observing how students respond to their surroundings and environment. I love doing that. I just want to sit back and observe how students respond to their environment and surroundings, and then teach around that, build around that. That's what I feel true education, real education, authentic learning is about. Engagement is about just putting things in front of people and seeing how they respond and react to it. So for me, I'm sure I'll do more videos like this again. I just had an epiphany in a way, because I was able to see what true authentic learning looks like. And I'm glad I was able to record it and get it down on record, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with everyone. So again, I just wanted to make the time to touch on the topic of authentic learning, curiosity, engaged learners, and what that looks like through my experience today in New Brunswick, right here in New Jersey, on September 26, 2019. So I'm sure we'll be looking back on this video again, and I'm definitely looking forward to sharing this information and sharing this experience with everyone. And I'm happy for anyone and everyone who is taking the time out to look at this, because it's super important. Inspiring our youth, teaching our youth about what really matters: health, nutrition, investing in themselves as they get older, purchasing decisions. It's all important. Finances, right? And we can teach the math through nutritional facts. We can teach units of measurement, milligrams. It's another question a student asks: what does MG stand for? It stands for milligram. It's a unit of measurement. Bang, right here, right here. So it's all around us. How can we use our environment and surroundings to introduce our students to things that naturally spark their curiosity, and then build learning around that? So that's all I have to say today. It's been a pleasure. Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, A Lover's Ambition. Peace.